Every so often a yacht comes along that's worth traveling halfway around the world to get on board, and today we're going to showcase to you exactly that. I can think of no better backdrop than the ancient walled city of Valletta to highlight to you one of the most advanced 40 meters on the market today that's constructed using ultra-modern materials and techniques. I'm Alex Clarke, and today I'm coming to you from the historical port of Valletta, Malta to showcase to you ANGELUS, the 2019 40-meter Sunseeker. ANGELUS is not only the newest Sunseeker on the market, having just been delivered to her client last summer, but she's also the most highly optioned Sunseeker 131 ever built, featuring over €3 million worth of upgrades, which we're going to showcase to you today. ANGELUS has all the volume one would expect in a tri-deck, sleeping up to 14 guests in 6 cabins. But what's unique about her is that her twin MTU 4,000 horsepower engines give her a top speed close to 25 knots, which is outstanding. Reduce that speed to an economical consumption and you still have a range of over 2,000 nautical miles. This flexibility allows the owner to get there fast or to take it slow, and that's the brilliance of ANGELUS. Now let's discuss the evolution of the Sunseeker 131. Sunseeker initially introduced the 40 meter as the largest yacht in their lineup over 10 years ago. ANGELUS is the latest in the next generation models, featuring dramatic improvements both in performance, design, and layout. In these new models, the exterior profile lines have been reconfigured to incorporate more glass, thus improving the guest's line of sight. A prime example of that is here in the main salon. But the new and older models have these sliding doors both on the port and starboard side that allows for a great cross breeze. What the new generation does is that it replaces the fixed bulkheads with glass and railings, giving you a much better view. A few other examples are that her exterior deck spaces have better flow and lounge areas. She has a larger hardtop, and to complement that, her mast is more substantial, as are her radars and hardware. It's the subtle changes that go unnoticed, which have been years in the making. ANGELUS has a brilliant Sundeck highlighted by a custom centerline jacuzzi that features a waterfall and mosaic tiling. The jacuzzi is surrounded by sun pads, which is probably my favorite space on board to relax. Tucked under her hardtop is a full bar complete with ice maker and refrigerator, which complements the 2 sitting and dining areas. This athletic owner chose to feature an elliptical machine and treadmill, which surprisingly doesn't crowd the spaces, which is a compliment to the Sunseeker's design. Our next stop is the bridge deck aft, which in this case is also known as the VIP deck. Here you have a large dining area that comfortably seats 12. Complementing the dining area, you have 2 built-in L-shaped settees located all the way back aft. To maintain a high level of service, this space features a full wet bar, including sink and refrigerator. Stepping forward through sliding glass doors, you enter the VIP stateroom, or what I would call her second master. This is the preferred cabin of the owner and gives the primary a completely private deck with direct access outside and up to the Sundeck. Slightly offset to starboard is a king berth, while to port you have a sitting area with built-in TV. To me, the main selling point of this space are the large windows, which are part of the cosmetic upgrades seen on the next generation 40-meter Sunseekers. Moving forward to port, you have the Stateroom's ensuite, which features his and her sinks and steam shower. Opposite of her ensuite is the walk-in closet. Follow me as we pass through the upper foyer into the wheelhouse. The wheelhouse is outfitted with 2 captain's chairs and 6 flat panel monitors. These monitors can be configured in a number of different ways, from the shipboard monitoring system, chart plotter, and radars. This leaves open monitors to display the security cameras found throughout the vessel, or your FLIR with thermal imaging and night vision. Centerline above the wheel, you have your throttles, bow and stern thrusters, 0-speed stabilizer controls, and autopilot. Aft of the helm chairs, you have a centerline settee, and to starboard, access to your captain's cabin, which is an ensuite. To port and starboard of the wheelhouse, you have watertight doors that give you direct access to your wing stations. Angelus's bow area no longer has just a sun pad like the older models, but instead a built-in settee with high-low adjustable table, great for lunch or breakfast when at anchor. A hidden feature about the space is that the entire sun pad is situated on a hydraulic hatch that, when raised, gives you direct access to a removable davit and rescue tender. All the way forward, you have access to your ground tackle, and there's even a platform so guests can enjoy the wind in their face when underway, or it's an easy perch to lean over and watch the dolphins ride on the bow wave. Angelus epitomizes what the Sunseeker brand is all about. It provides guests a platform to not only pursue the sunshine, but also lifelong memories. One of the key places where your adventure begins is here on the swim platform, where you have direct access to all of your toys. To access the swim platform, you have stairs located both to port and starboard. A fun feature of this space is that the entire platform is actually hydraulic. To starboard, you have your hydraulic passerelle. This entire space is transformed when you open up your garage. Here, you have direct access to your large diesel jet tender and 2 full-size jet skis. Stepping down in the garage, the first thing that you notice is that it's got teak flooring and great lighting. Located all the way forward to port, you have a tender fill station which siphons fuel off of the main tanks. There's plenty of space for water sports toys, such as wakeboards and inflatables. To port, you step down through a watertight door into the control room. Forward in the control room, you'll have your main breaker panel and AC shore power converter. The aft section of the control room is highlighted by 4 Miele professional grade washer and dryers, hydraulic systems, and emergency steering. Moving forward from the control room, you pass through another watertight bulkhead into the engine room. One of the main highlights of Angelus is the 8,000 horsepower you can find here in the engine room. She features twin MTU 12V 4000 M93 engines that have only 270 original hours. The time on her engines make her better than new in my opinion, as they have been lightly broken in and ready to be utilized for the upcoming summer season. You have twin 80 kW Kohler generators, each of which can power the house. Angelus features an Alfa Laval fuel polishing system. This assures that these high-performance engines receive clean diesel at all times, which is critical. Centerline back aft of the engine room are your primary air conditioning chillers. Forward of that, 2 engine room air conditioning units. Leaving the engine room, we'll head up to the aft deck. The aft deck is accessible from either the swim platform or from the hydraulic passerelle located to the starboard side. The aft section of the main deck features a large U-shaped settee with a high-low table that has proven to be a favorite gathering place for drinks before dinner. One of the improvements that Sunseeker has made on the late model 40 meters is that both here and on the upper deck, you have low-profile furniture, giving the guest a better view. Continuing forward, you pass through glass doors that completely tuck away, combining the interior and exterior spaces as one. Just inside these glass doors to port is a full bar, which easily services the entire area. Located just forward of the bar, both to port and starboard, is temperature-controlled wine storage. The interior decor of Angelus is extremely inviting, much of which is due to all of the natural light, but it's also because of the soft fabrics. It's the silks, the earth tones, the lavenders, all of those combined with the custom stonework throughout. It's a perfect marriage of the matte walnut floors with the high gloss wood paneling. The textures are perfectly blended together, and you can see the care and control that the owner invested into the design. Like I mentioned earlier in our video today, one of the coolest features on board are these sliding glass doors, both to port and starboard here in the main salon. Stepping just forward of the main salon, you have your formal dining, and now you can just imagine yourself with the cross breeze while enjoying your meal. To the port side of the dining area, you have a doorway that leads forward into a pantry. The pantry is highlighted by custom wine storage. To port, you have a watertight door that leads to the exterior of the vessel, and moving forward, you enter the galley. Entering the galley, the first thing that you notice are the custom stone countertops and large island. Starting in the island, you have your cooktop. Just forward of that, you have refrigerator and freezer space, and to port, your sink and large window. Continuing inboard of the galley, you're going to pass through a door where you have a staircase that leads down into crew mess and crew accommodations. Stepping down in the crew accommodations, you have the crew lounge and small kitchenette. Great for the crew to relax and have a meal. The crew accommodations consist of 3 bunk rooms and 1 single cabin. This particular area sleeps up to 7 crew, and then if you combine the captain's cabin where you can sleep 2, Angelus has the ability to carry 9 crew in total. Leaving the crew area to starboard, you step into the main foyer. The main foyer gives you direct access to the centerline staircase, which leads to the upper deck or to the guest accommodations. To starboard, you have your day head, which has some of my favorite stone that you're going to find on board, which is crystal agate. Located all the way forward on the main deck, to starboard you have a small sitting area. To port, a custom vanity. And centerline, a king berth. An improved feature that really sets this space apart are the large windows located to port and starboard. These are much larger than on older Sunseeker 131s. Forward and centerline, you have your flush-mounted TV, and to port and starboard, you have walk-in closets. As we step into the master bath, I want to point out one of the key features that sets Angelus apart from all other Sunseekers, and that's her custom stonework. I want to point out 3 key stone features found in each individual ensuite on board Angelus. The first being the heated floors. The second use of stone that I want to point out is around the vanities. For example, here you have white Carrara marble. The third feature that I want to point out are the accent walls found in the steam showers. Here in the master, the accent wall happens to be rose quartz, which is a piece of art in itself. Leaving the master and heading back aft, we're going to head down the stairs into the guest accommodations. Let's first take a look at the aft starboard queen cabin. I would almost call this the ocean blue cabin due to the color of the fabrics here. You have a centerline queen berth that looks out one of the improvements found on board, which is a larger window featured in the hull. Below the window, you have a pop-up TV, and to the left and right of that, your wardrobe. Stepping into our ensuite, you have that beautiful stonework, with my favorite being the accent wall that has white marble ribbon laid on top of blue stone. Stepping into the port aft cabin, you have that same great layout that you found in the starboard cabin, yet a slightly different color scheme, which I would call burnt sienna. Touching on the uniquity of each bathroom, the steam shower has that same ribbon pattern. This time it's laid over a rose stone versus blue in the starboard. Moving forward to port, you'd have what I'd call the Sage cabin. This features 2 single berths and a 3rd hidden Pullman. Now both the forward port and starboard cabins have Pullman berths, and that's why Angelus is able to sleep 14 guests instead of 12. This cabin, like all the cabins on board, has ample storage and a great audiovisual system. The final stateroom that we're going to showcase is the starboard forward cabin, which has the exact layout as the port cabin that we just were in, yet this one is configured differently right now. What I mean by that is both cabins can feature 2 single berths, or they can be pushed together to form one large queen berth. This cabin features the same awesome ensuite as you found in the last cabin, heated floors, white marble vanity, and ribbon accent wall. I'd like to thank you for joining me on board Angelus, the 2019 40-meter Sunseeker. If you'd like to receive additional information or to arrange a private showing on board, I'd obviously love an excuse to come back to Malta, so feel free to contact me, Alex Clarke of Dennison Yachting, at any time.